Hello everyone, my name is Linda Dolke and welcome to another Technique Tuesday. Today is Tuesday the 15th of April, halfway through the month. Can you believe it? This month is going so fast I can't keep up. I'm looking through the comments very quickly. I see we have a good crowd here already. Hey Marilyn, you are the first here today. And then we have Judy and Nicole. Linda's here. Maureen, hi. Siobhan. Glenda's here. Roz, hello. Christine, Leslie. Yes, we are having a good day. I had a really great day yesterday. I had a lovely friend come around. Many of you know her, Denise, and help me with my. I'm prepping for a class tomorrow up in the Hunter Valley that I do once a month, and she came around and helped me get a little bit ahead in that. So I'm having a much less stressful day today because today we got ahead. So that's really great. It's midnight on Tuesday. It's so late for you. I'm so sorry that our times don't mesh better. Sorry about that. Oh, how are you, Margaret? Are you well? Yeah, it's nice here, isn't it, Leslie? Hello, Denise. Nice to see you. Thank you for your help yesterday. It was magic. So good. And then Leslie is here. Laurie, hi. All the way from Ohio. We've had you with us before, though. Yes, much less stressful today because of that. So I haven't been for my walk yet today. Normally I go in the mornings, and this morning it was pouring rain when I got up. So I got in and did some work early. So I'm hoping I can go walking maybe after this. That might be good. Yeah, there's no, if it's midnight, Nicole makes a really good point. If it's midnight, then of course it's a good day because it hasn't had time to be bad, right? Oh, that's good to hear that you're home from hospital, but I'm sad that you have your funeral for your friend tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Oh, goodness me. It's all happening. Hello, Kerry. Nice to see you. All right, let's get going. It is Technique Tuesday, and today I've got just a really simple technique for you guys today. So let me switch over to the desk. And for those of you who have been following along, these are called the Around It All dies. And I want to tell you something funny. I went looking for them before. Let me get rid of my banner. Sorry. While the banner's there, that's a good reminder to remind you guys that if you want to sign up for my newsletters, you can head over to my blog there at lookwhatimade.com.au, and the newsletter sign up form is on the right hand side at the top. If you're on a laptop, it's a little bit hard to find on a phone, other device, but it is on a laptop on the top right corner. The other thing is I put other bits and pieces in there, like some videos and other things. So you might want to go check it out. I had the blog redone a couple of months back in January, and I'm excited to use it more this year. So that's really great. Hey, Linda, nice to see you. 11 p.m. I know it's so late. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get rid of that banner off the screen. So let me just take that down. Here we go. Also, if anyone is shopping or wanting to do shopping, you can also go to that web address, and there's a shop link there as well to access the online store. So everything you see me using today is available for purchase. And if you would like to purchase, you can go down into the description below the YouTube video, and you'll see all the links there to get you started on purchasing or anything else you would like to know. All right, so these dies here are called Around It All, and some of you might remember. So here's the funny story. I went looking for these today in preparation for today's technique, and I couldn't find them because I totally forgot that they're called the Around It All dies. Guess what I was looking for? I was looking for the wonky circles, and they're not called the wonky circles. That's just what we call them around here, right? Because they look like this. They are wonky circles, as you can see, and you guys were the ones who forced me into buying these, and I'm actually really glad I did. I've been playing with them a little bit today, not a lot, but this has actually been the first time I opened them up today. So I'm sort of slow to the party. I know a lot of other people have been doing it, and I think these are fantastic for making your own stencils, which is what we want to do today. Oh, thanks, Roz. These they just didn't sit right with me at the beginning because I think they're wonky, and I don't do wonky. But you know what? There is a place for wonky, and they can look really, really great. So we're going to play with them today. I know, wonky circles, all right? That's what we call them. But they are actually, if you want to go looking for them, there are 12 of them, and they are called the Around It All dies. And there is a matching stamp set as well, which you don't have to actually be able to use these. You can use these without the stamp set. I haven't actually bought the stamp set myself yet. You haven't seen these, Cheryl? Yeah, they've been in our online store for a while now, and everyone here was telling me I had to get them. So today we're going to be making stencils with these, and we're going to play with them. Okay, so I've actually gone ahead and cut a few shapes. So you can see this one. This is this one here. So, you know, as you can see, the wonkiness of them, it's very haphazard. So they're all slightly differently shaped. But I've got one here, and actually I have used this already, because you can see I've used this as a stencil. And then I've got the smallest one here. What other ones did I use? I've used the, like, I think it's 3 up, that one there. So I've used a few different ones. Now, you can use, you can see I've made paper stencils, okay, just by cutting the hole in the middle of a square of paper, okay. You can also use acetate. So I did a big one. Can you see it here? You can't really see it. Let me find a dark color that I can, or darker color that I can put behind. Can you see it now? So that one actually is cut from acetate. This is a 6x6 piece of acetate, and that's one of the larger circles in the pack. It's not the largest one though. You can see it's still, there's still, I think, maybe 3 bigger than that one. So it's actually they go quite large, okay. But that, I wanted to use this one, and I'll show you in a minute how I use that on a scrapbook page, okay. So I did a few little guys like these ones. If you wanted to make your own stencils, my suggestion is that you choose a piece of paper that is a lot bigger than the shape that you actually want to use as your stencil. That's my first tip for you today, because it's actually really helpful to have plenty of space around, so you don't go off onto your card or your table or something else. You want to have plenty of room to work with. And in fact, I wouldn't go any smaller than that. That's only about, you know, that's not, well, probably 3/4 of an inch here and here. Under 2 centimeters. So my suggestion would be that you try and keep plenty of space around it when you're working. Okay, so I just dug into my scrap drawer and picked out a few scrap pieces, and you can see those there. And then if you're using acetate, once again, make sure you use your acetate with plenty of room around, so that you've got plenty of room to work with. You have the wonky circles. What have you done with them, Julianne? I'm interested to hear what other people have done with them, because I'm sort of, like I said, just getting started with these. So these are a bit of fun. But we're talking about making stencils, and you don't just have to, yeah, me too, Tanya. I had them in and out several times before I actually took the plunge. So, you know, that's, sometimes you just have to be sure before you do something, right? So my suggestion, these are great for stencils, but you can also use them obviously for the pieces, you know, the pieces in the pack, and that looks fabulous as well. So there's some fantastic things you could do. I did think about just doing a Technique Tuesday to show you different ways to use these, but I might do different ways to use these on other live videos. Quickly, while I think of it too, Friday night I will not be live. Okay, it's Good Friday. We have friends coming over actually, so I will not be live on Friday evening. I'm deciding whether or not to go live on Thursday evening, and I think that's what I'll do. So if anyone who would normally watch me on a Friday night is not able to do so, and because, you know, maybe you've got stuff on at your end of the world as well. So my suggestion is that you watch, maybe look out for Thursday night this week instead of Friday night, because we have Good Friday, Good Friday on Friday, obviously. And then Sunday night, I'm not sure what's happening Sunday night yet. But at the moment, I'm looking at no video Friday night, but probably Thursday night instead. Does that suit everyone? How does that go? You love the wonkiness, Kate. You know what? It took me a while, because I don't do skew if. I like things to be straight. You know, I'm one of these people that's always straightening pictures up on the wall, you know, in public spaces and everywhere. You know, if it doesn't look completely straight to me, I've got to fix it. I don't know if that makes me a little bit OCD or what it is, but I just need to. Thursday is your birthday, Donna, so maybe we should do a video then for Thursday night, although you might be out to dinner having a wonderful time. All right, so I've got these 3 shapes here. I was thinking about maybe cutting a different one in between, but let's start with these ones, and I'm just going to start with a piece of basic white paper. Okay, so I've cut this to card front size, and I'm just going to go ahead and put these down. And I might as well, will I use the same colors? I was going to do different colors, actually. Well, let me see. What have we got? I'm thinking these colors kind of remind me of ice cream, like gelato or something like that. Does that do that for anybody else? Yeah, happy birthday for Thursday. Exactly. Oh, that would be great with the toadstools and the dinosaur stamps. They're very Flintstone looking. That's a great idea, Julianne. I love that idea. All right, so I'm thinking that I'm starting with a Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to come in here with my Coastal Cabana ink, and I'm going to do this larger circle, and I'm putting it over the edge, all right? And I'm going to start on the paper. This is another reason why you do this. You start on the paper because then you get less brush strokes. You actually get rid of some of the ink that's sitting on the end of the brushes, and it goes on smoother if you start on the paper and then move on to your piece. Now, because the circles are wonky, I don't think it matters if your blending is a little bit wonky either. All right, I need to hold that still because I think that kind of adds to, oh gosh, come on, I need to move that out of the way and use two hands and properly hold this in place. Now, of course, you could hold this down if you wanted to. You could, you know, stick it down with washi tape or some repositionable glue if you've got some, or something like that. All right, so I'm just starting with this piece right there like that. And like I said, these colors remind me of gelato, kind of. I'm going to do a second one of these. We're creating a background, basically. This time I'm going to hold it here over the edge. And I'm starting here on the circle and then moving across. How much do we love the blending brushes? Seriously, they're just about my favorite tool, I think. I use them so often, and they're just fabulous. All right, got a little bit of brush stroke there, doesn't matter. All right, so that's how that's looking right now. Now let's pick another color. I'm thinking I might go with the peach. I used it for Calypso Coral before, but I'm going to go with the peach. And I'm going to overlay it over the top of my other wonky circle a little bit. And I'm going to come in here, hold that nice and still, and even though it's moving a tiny bit on my glass mat, if you're using paper underneath, it doesn't move as much. It's because my glass mat is pretty slippery. All right, I'm going to have a little bit down here as well. The peach looks really good with the Calypso, doesn't it? Like that. And then I'm going to go with Pretty in Pink next. So I've got a blending brush that's got some pink, and I'm actually thinking I'm going to use the same size. I don't think it really matters, but I'm going to do this one here. Aren't these fun? Aren't they fun? Where else would I like one? Maybe here. A bit more Pretty in Pink. Oh, you're never too late, Sue. Never ever apologize for being late. It's just show up whenever you can. Most people that watch these videos actually watch the replays. I mean, it's lovely to have people here live, but most people end up watching it via replay. All right, then we're going to go with I usually, for the smaller one, I like to do a darker color. I don't like Petunia Pop is quite a strong color. So for that, I'm going to, let me see. All right, Petunia Pop. So I'm going to have a little bit over here. So you could sort of decide how big you want the circles to be. You've got 12 circles in this set to choose from, which are fantastic. And then I'm going to have another little bit up in the corner here. This is actually very fun. It's very fun to do. And these colors, I don't know why they go well together. They just do. They just all look really great. And I'm going to have a little guy down here overlapping a bit of this Coastal Cabana. And there we go. Should I have a little bit more? Do you know what? And now that I'm looking at it and looking at the overall composition. I'm going to have a little bit over here with the peach. I'm going to have just going off this edge. There we go. That looks better. That just seems to make the composition pop. You've been using a larger silicone mat. Well, that's a good idea. Yes, I think a silicone mat is a great idea underneath because you can just wipe those clean. But you could also use paper, would be less slippery than, see, why didn't I think of that? So often I forget my silicone mats, and they are fantastic. If you don't have one, you want to throw one in your cart next time you're shopping, because they're around here in Australia, around the $10 mark, I think, from memory. I probably should check that out. The other thing is I did not know how to spell silicone. I was spelling it wrong, and so it wasn't coming up on my search, and I thought it had been discontinued, but it wasn't. It's not. It's called silicone, not silicon. So there's an E on the end of it, and it's called a silicone craft sheet. I was searching under silicon, and I was searching under mat, and it wasn't coming up. It's actually called a silicone craft sheet. That's why I couldn't find it. All right, I'm actually really happy with how that's looking. The colors look good. Very gelato-y. Don't you agree? Like, it makes me feel like I need to go and eat some ice cream. And that's always a good idea, right? So I'm thinking over the top of this, we should have, I've actually got these that when I was cutting out those pieces. So these are the pieces I've got left over. So, you know, I could, that one's a bit small. That one's a bit big. I think I need an in-between size. I could stamp straight onto this, or I could put like another wonky circle over the top. But I'm actually tempted to stamp straight on. What do you think? And what kind of sentiment should we have? Do you think it looks like a birthday card? What do you guys think? Maybe it's a birthday card for Donna. Just having a little look. I know, it does look really good, doesn't it? You know what would make it even better, though? I'm just going to because I'm doing a class tomorrow, I'm going to be using I need to grab one of my bags and take something out of one of my bags for tomorrow. So I'm thinking with these colours, sentiment in Petunia Pop, or sentiment in, I could even go Melon Mambo, go really bright. Even a sentiment even in Pretty, no, it's not right. That's not right. So I'm interested to think about what colour I should do. But what I am going to do is pull out my beautiful, fantastic, wonderful Elements of Text set. Let's have a little play with that. What do you think? And I'm thinking I'm going to go with Petunia Pop. The mat you got is called a grip mat. Ooh, cool. There's straight on, says Leslie. I think so too. I think straight on. Oh, thanks, Marilyn. That's clever. See, that's what you would know if you were an ex-teacher, and I do not. So I need people like you to tell me why things are so. I know, that's true. They don't look as wonky when they're not complete circles. Like these look more like, but they are wonky, and I think it really, if they were really solid, straight, just like perfect circles, I don't think they would look as good. But I'm going to use my Petunia Pop, and then I'm deciding what sentiment I should do. Happy birthday would be a good one. I'll tell you what's a really great sentiment, and I've got it here. Let me grab it for you. This Make-A-Wish. This Make-A-Wish is a really great, and I've also got a hooray. What do you think? Hooray or Make-A-Wish? What do you think? I could do one of those. They do look like bubbles, Moira. Oh, yep, I know. I hate it when you've got so many people wishing you happy birthday and you don't want to leave anyone out, so you try and cover your bases just by having everybody included, right? Make a wish, make a wish, wish, wish. Okay, make a wish it is. That's the one everyone wants. And I'm thinking Well, I'm deciding whether I'm going to put it off to one side or whether I'm going to put it right in the middle. Okay, seeing as all the circles are wonky, we can go either way. So I could go here in this white spot, or I think maybe I'll go in the middle. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in the middle like that. How cool a background is this? You know, I love a good background. Now I'm going to go in with, I've got some of these guys, and I'm also going to grab my my text stamps from this same set. All right, so this is the one I'm talking about. This is such a good set. If you don't have this one, definitely have a think about it. Oh, while I think about this is important. For anyone who doesn't know, our cardstock prices are going up quite a bit in the new catalogue. So next month, and the white has already gone up, okay, because they exhausted all the stocks of the current white, and now it has gone up in price. I'm going to add a bit of text in here. So we're going to make this a little bit more textural. So a little bit of text. I'm actually going to do a little tiny bit over here as well. There we go. And then I'm going to come in with my this fantastic splattery stamp here, and we'll add that to a block. It's very, very useful information, Marilyn. Thank you for telling us, because I would not have known. All right, I'm going to have like a little bit of splatter here and there. I'm doing it on my mat still. And I think we're not going to need a lot more. So I feel like some here. What do we think? Is that enough? Actually, just a tiny, tiny bit over here. What do we think? Is that enough splatter? Oh, Wink Stella splatter. Oh, that would be nice too. That's a great idea. Oh, Lorraine's on a cruise. How exciting. I had a friend who just did the Queensland coast just last week. So she would have been on the cruise before you, probably. I'm not sure which cruise line she was with, though. All right, I'm thinking that's, I know, isn't that splatter stamp fantastic? Me too. Oh, Marilyn, that's so interesting. I'm so sorry to tell you this. I sucked at chemistry. Really, really, really just struggled with it so bad. I tried to take it in year 11 and 12, and I dropped it at the end of year 11 because I just couldn't understand the concepts. And I felt so like I'm not without brains, but I just couldn't grasp most of the chemistry concepts. So that made me very sad, because that ruled me out for a number of jobs that I thought I might be interested in, but that's just how it went. All right, so this is looking really good. I'm actually really happy with how that's come together. And I'm just going to put this very simply. Now we could use card base made of Pretty in Pink, or I could go with Summer Splash, or Coastal Cabana actually is what I use, but either of those would work. Or we could go with the peach. Let me see what I've got here. I've got card bases already cut in some of these colours, so let me pick one of those. So this would be the Pretty in Pink. I think I said Pretty in Peach, but I meant Pretty in Pink. That's how that would look. That's quite nice because it pulls out this colour. And this is how it would look on the peach. It's a bit brighter on the peach. I quite like that. What do you guys think? Do you think peach or do you think pink? You didn't do art after year 6. I did art up until year 10, and then it wasn't offered with anything. I wished I had done art, actually, in hindsight, but in year 11 and 12 I didn't do art because it wasn't available. If the subjects I thought I needed to actually get a job after school, art wasn't offered in conjunction with those. All right, lots of people saying peach, pink, 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 peach. All right, so far the pinks are winning, and then the peach, 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 peach. Oh, now the peaches seems to be winning. I don't know. Who was first? Let's have a look back up. Peach, said Tanya. And that was the very first one. All right, peach it is. So we're going with that. And I've realized that this one has a little bit of a ratty corner. Let me see if I can straighten that out. This is what happens when you get your paper out of the scrap box. Sometimes the corners get compromised. Let me use a bone folder here. So the reason I was telling you about the cardstock increases is if you buy your cardstock this month while it's still at the current prices, then you will be paying considerably less. Okay, so I'm going to give you, actually that's good because I can, that's the corner that's troublesome, and that's the one that I need to cut off. Yeah, so you want it, so it's currently $20.25 for a pack of A4 cardstock in most colors, not white. I'm talking about all the colors. And then it's going up to $25 for those packs after May 6th. So please go and grab what you need now, because otherwise you might be sad. All right, I'm going to put this on. I've got some Tombow here. This one's almost empty. I'm always running through these things, but that's okay. Thank you very much for that, Donna. Appreciate that. All right, so I'm really loving these used as stencils. What do you think? So I did tell you before that you can use either paper for your stencils, or you could use window sheets, all right, or acetate. And one of the advantages of using window sheets is you can see exactly where you're going and how far you're going over something else. It doesn't really matter, because for the most part, especially if you're creating a background, you don't need to see it that clearly. But if you like to see exactly, then, and the other thing is, once you've cut this out, you could, as long as it's smaller than 6 by 6 or 6 by 6 or smaller, you can keep it in with your dies, and you've always got a template ready to go. Whereas the paper ones usually need to be recut and redone fairly often because they don't last. But if you do them in the window sheets, you can actually keep them in with the dies and use them whenever you need them. So that's another way of looking at that. I'm just thinking too, I've got some bling here. Let me add some bling to this. What bling shall we use? I noticed the party dots are on back order. Or sorry, not back order. They are unavailable at the moment. That's these ones. These ones are currently out of stock. So they are coming back in, but they're not available right now. So I'm thinking I will use the shimmer gems probably, which are these guys. Here we go. I've got a pack of these, because you've got the pink, you've got the Summer Splash, which would go close enough with the Coastal Cabana, and you've also got the peach. Because we've used the peach background, shall I go with the pretty and pink ones, or shall I go with the peach ones? I think I'll go with the peach ones. I think they look rather good. So let's put one here, and then we'll have another one up here, and little guy over here. And there we go, card made. So that's something, yeah, exactly. You can clean them up more easily after you finish. So you just wipe them over with a baby wipe or a damp cloth, you know. Whereas the paper ones, you know, you will need to recreate those, especially if you use dark colors and you don't want that color to transfer. So, oh, that's okay, Lorraine. Enjoy your cruise. No troubles at all. All right, so what do you think? So I was thinking this is a nice background for a card, but while I'm at it, I thought, and I had a little play just before we started, also a great idea for a scrapbook page. I mean, what an easy background this is for a scrapbook page. And so this one I used, and I haven't finished it, obviously. I would want to add some splatter and some place for journaling and all that sort of stuff. But I just thought that actually would go quite nicely on here. This is the walk from, I think it was Leno to, this is Lake Como in Italy. And this was my bucket list. I always wanted to go there. And so Paul and I were fortunate enough to tack an extra 5 days onto one of our Stampin' Up trips when we went to the Greek Isles back in 2019, before all of that COVID rubbish. This was walking to a place called Villa Barbianello. I can never say it. Barbianello, which is where they filmed, for anyone who knows, where they filmed the romantic scenes from the Star Wars movies when they were in, hanging out into near the water in that beautiful place with all the arches. That place actually exists, and we went there. It was fantastic. And this is the walk. You can see it's going up an incline. This is the walk to get there. So that's what this was about. But I was thinking, this would be really, really nice to come in here with some probably some pretty peacock, which I had out a moment ago, and who knows what I did with it now. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Where did I put it? Oh, well, I was thinking some, oh, I know exactly where it is. I'll put it back in the bag, ready for tomorrow. That's where it is. All right, so I could come in here and add some splatter and some texty stamps if I wanted to, and, really make this look really textural and lovely. So, this is just such an easy, it almost feels like cheating, but it's a lot of fun. So, you can add some bits and pieces to this, and then you could somewhere over here to write a title, or maybe have some journaling in this area. You can do all kinds of things. Okay, so this is just an idea that if you're a scrapbooker, you might want to use this for a background, because I think it's a really fun way to do backgrounds. Okay, so I'm just having a look. Oh, yes, that's just in the US, Judy. Yes, I don't want my Australian customers to get scared and think it's here, because here we've been through that process. We did that last month. We went over to the new reward system on the 19th, no, the 20th of last month. So we've had it for nearly a month now, and it's going really well as far as I can see. Everyone seems to like it. The main thing people have to remember, to get their rewards, you have to opt in. Before you do your order, you have to opt into the reward system. And the first time you go in, it will actually ask you if you want to opt in. So that's really easy. But if you've placed orders and forgotten to opt in previously, you will actually have to go and find there's a place that you can go to the rewards and actually opt into the system. So that's what that's all about. But yes, the system will not be offline here. Yes, they are the wonky circles, Ellen. Look, we just made a card with them. Aren't they cute? So I just used them as a stencil. So that's what we're doing today. We're creating stencils. And it's all your fault, you girls, that I have these. But I'm actually really glad I have them. So I'm really glad. And I have the arches because of you guys too. And I'm glad I have those too. So anyway, I'm still working on this page, but I just wanted to show you what I was doing. And this is where I used that bigger circle, the one that I cut from the piece of acetate. That's this big circle. That's what that one is. So it's the perfect size, see? So there we go. Anyway, these are a lot of fun. You can do all sorts of funs with them. I thought, let's try some different shapes. I know we've had fun with the wonky circles, and you guys are really enjoying those, but I'm going to pull in a couple of other shapes instead. So let me just clean up these couple of stamps ready, because I need to put them back in my bag ready for tomorrow, because if I don't remember to put them back in the bag, I will be very sad. Let's get all the inks back away. All right. So for the next one, I thought it might be good to use some very vanilla. So I've got a very vanilla piece this time. Oh, I think I'll use my matte again, because that was really great. Much better to use the matte. All right, but you could also, even having paper under there would be better than using a glass mat, which is a bit slippery, okay? So, yeah, exactly, I know. So Nicole said, not your fault, but your pleasure. I understand. Could you go around the inner edge of the wonky circles to make it easier to see with permanent pen? You could. You could. That would be a great idea, actually. That's something you could do. So I thought this time I'll pick something else that I really like, and this is something that's retiring. So I'm going to be using the autumn leaves dies this time, and I really like these. So I've actually cut in advance a couple of these out. So let's have a quick look at them. So these are retiring, and not only are they retiring, they are marked down quite a bit. Let me just give you the actual information on those because I think that's important. Oh, and before I said the silicone craft sheet was around the $10 mark, I just had a look. It's $11.50. Okay, so I'm a little bit under what I should have said, but it's $11.50. That's kind of around $10, kind of, right? All right, so autumn leaves dies, which is the ones I'm using right now. They were $67 and they're currently $26.80. So they are an absolute bargain. And there is a matching stamp set as well, if you like that as well, which is this one. These cut out, these cut out some of the shapes here. So these lovely little banners actually match. Like this one here matches this one, and the others fit in this one here. So these are fantastic. They're a really, really good set of dies. This set was $42. It's half price at $21. Okay, so the dies are way less than half price, but the autumn leaves photopolymer stamp set is exactly half price, 50% off at $21. All right, so that's the Australian prices if anyone wanted to know those. All right, let me quickly go back because I can't see your comments when I'm looking at all of that. Well, yes, I do. I have many times suggested people should buy the stylish shapes. And I think they're still the best buy we have. And thankfully, they are not retiring. They're going to be available yet. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah, these are a great buy. I know. What a great price is that. So I'm going to start with the big one. And you can see I used this one here to cut out this shape, right? And then I use one of these small ones. There's two of those in the pack. You can't see them there because one is hiding somewhere. There it is, hiding under here. I'm thinking, where did it go? All right, so that one there, I cut a smaller shape. And if I wanted to, I could cut some leaf shapes and that kind of stuff. You could also do these in conjunction with the stamps, because I could use this as a stencil and then put this over the top and stamp the stems. I could do that if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that today, but that certainly would look nice. All right, so let's grab some autumny colours. So I'm going to use, I'm thinking, what colours have I got? We've got pecan pie. Copper clay is retiring. This is a good, is that still available? I really need to look and see if it's still available. Also, we could use a green such as Old Olive or Mossy Meadow. And so a green, a rusty colour, and maybe maybe you could even add some gold in there, like a yellow. I tell you what, I used Darling Duckling on. In fact, I didn't tell you this, but when I was doing this, that yellow there is the new Darling Duckling. It's a darker yellow than the daffodil, but it's not as dark as Crushed Curry, but it's quite gold. I really like it actually. All right, let me quickly. What did I say I was going to look for you? I was going to check something. Copper clay. Let's have a look. Okay, that ink pad is still available, and so is the refill. Boho Blue ink refill had sold out last time I checked, but the ink pad itself is still available. And Moody Mauve was last time I looked at that. That was on, the ink refill, which is marked down to $7.80, is low in inventory. So if you want those, you want to grab them, definitely go and grab those refills while you can. Okay. The other thing we talked about today was making sure that you get your cardstock at the reduced prices before it goes up. All right, so when I say reduced prices, they're not actually reduced. They are just not gone up yet, and they will be going up. Hey, Cherie, how are you? Oh, that's great news. I'm so happy about that. That's so good. Oh, thanks, Donna. Donna's just reminding me I should use my favorite Cajun Craze. Yeah, well, Cajun Craze, as you know, is not my favorite color, but it's more, look at these. Okay, so this is Pecan Pie. This is Copper Clay. And this is Cajun Craze. This is definitely more orangey than these. Okay, so these are a little bit more neutral. But I'm actually thinking I might throw in some Old Olive. I think that might be nice. And yeah, I've actually packed away my I've packed away my early espresso, so I probably won't go that dark. Or I might have to go over and grab it out of the bag. All right, so I'm starting with Old Olive. I'm going to start off here, and I'm going to do a light colouring of this. Now, of course, you can go as dark as you want, all right? You keep building up colour as much as you like, all right? But that's how it looks. And then I'm going to have another one down here. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter if some is dark and some is light because leaves are not evenly coloured, right? They are different colours, right? You can see I've got a bit of a mark here. If you're worried about that, you just go over it again. Okay, so if you don't like that one part of it is darker than the rest, even though I just told you it doesn't matter, you could just go over it and kind of start to blend it in. All right, so that is looking a little better. All right, so then let's see, pecan pie. Now, if I wanted to, I could come in here and add some color. Do I want to go here? Actually, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Cajun Craze. I'm gonna use my small blending pen. Not that it matters. And I'm gonna add some color over the top here. So we're adding this to our olive. And so we start to get some, you know, mottling of color coming in, which looks really nice. And then, yeah, a bit more Cajun Craze. All right, it's looking nice. Then let's pick a little guy. And will I just go, what color will I go? Will I go with the pecan? I feel like I want to have some gold in there. So wild wheat, actually, surprisingly, even though I know not everyone loves wild wheat, looks very gold, and that might look really brighten these up a little bit. So there's a pecan one, another pecan one. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use the wild wheat just because it's going to work. And this color is retiring, as we know. What about some orange? Well, I kind of had the Cajun Craze in as some orange, but we could add more orange. I feel like some yellow is going to brighten this up a little bit. So I'm going to come in here and I'm actually going to do one just, let's see how the wild wheat looks. That's how the wild wheat looks. What do we think? Do we like that? It's quite yellow, but it's not though, really, is it? It's a yellowy green, really. Right, I'm going to add some, I think you're right though, maybe some Timid Tiger. Maybe that would be nice. Oh, which one do I want? I want this one. Now, my wild wheat hasn't been used very much, so but I think you're right, a little bit more color somewhere. How are we doing? What do you think? We need to brighten it up. I think you're right. I'm going to try the Timid Tiger. I just think that might work. You know what we could do with this? We could come in and add, like we talked about before, some more splatter in oranges and those kind of colors. All right, so Timid Tiger. Now I'm starting to get a bit more of it. That does look good, doesn't it? You're right, Marilyn. The orange looks really good. And that Timid Tiger is not, like, I think pumpkin maybe would have been too orange. And I'm going to add some orange to these wild wheat ones. So where with the wonky circles, we just did one color at a time. I think with something like leaves like this, you want to add multiple colors, and it's just a really nice, it's going to give you a really nice working of the different colors. Yeah, the colors on the leaves, I think you can't really go wrong with these. You can see I'm not being particularly careful. I know it is a beautiful orange, Tanya. I agree. I really love it. I really hope that we get the cloud cover soon, because that I think will, I'm going to add a bit timid tiger. I'm going to go timid tiger crazy. I think that having cloud cover is really going to round out the other colors. So I'm really hoping that it doesn't take them too long to get it right and get it out to us. That will be good news the day they bring that out. All right. I'm liking this. A little bit more. A little bit more. So you really can have as much fun as you want and really go to town creating your own stencils with all the different shapes. Go through your dies and think and work out what you have and think, okay, what would look really great? You use it as a stencil and start cutting and get them out onto a cardstock panel, and they just look absolutely fabulous. Now in this case, remember I said to you, if I wanted to, I could add the stamping to actually, and I don't know if anyone thinks I should. The other thing I could do is I could add some leaves. All right, so I could add some of these little leaves here and there, and I'm wondering if that might be a really good thing. The other thing I could do is I could actually come in here and start adding more color to the background, which I think might look really, really nice. It does look good, doesn't it? Okay, we're going timid tiger crazy. What do people think about with the changing leaf size? You could do it with those. Just on the two big leaves, you're thinking of the stamping blender. Oh, Blackberry Bliss, that would be an interesting addition. I think I'm actually thinking probably early espresso would look good for the veins. That's kind of where I'm leaning to. What do you guys think? All right. Okay, hang on a second. I've got to get the early espresso out of the workshop bag for tomorrow. Because I've got a card that I'm using it for tomorrow. All right, so let's grab all right, this one I think. So what do you guys think of this? Who's going to give it a go? Who's going to try playing around with some different dies you have and making your own stencils? You'll need blending brushes, some scrap paper that's bigger than your die. You'll need obviously inks, but it's actually very easy technique, very easy. All right, so I'm going to stick this one. Yep. Well, that does look good, doesn't it? Maybe just on the big ones. I think maybe the big ones. I don't think we need anything on the small ones. In fact, there aren't any for the small ones, so that settles that. That's how it's looking. All right. And then I could either, I think probably putting a greeting up on there might look better than stamping straight on with this one, but I still like the idea of adding some splatter. And I could do splatter in a lighter color like crumb cake. That might look really good. I've got there are two favorite splatter stamps. There's the one with the, well, where is this one here? Okay, there are two. There's this one that's got like it's more a little bit more regular in shape, and this one that's sort of a longer one. And I like both, but I use, you know, for this one, I think I'm just going to use the one that I've already got out right now. And I think I will go crumb cake, which I have to grab out of the bag. Goodness me, I'm going to completely pack my bags again when I'm done. But not forget, hey? Good, Moira, that's great. All right, so this is the other one I was telling you, a bit more regular in shape, and this one's like a long, skinny splatter. All right, let's go. Oh, I over-inked that stamp, so I'm cleaning it off, and I'm going to start again. Whenever you have a stamp that is longer, you only want to go very, very gentle and straight up, straight down, because it's really easy to pick up extra ink around the edges. And then you can overstamp, as they call it, where you get that halo effect around your stamping on your card. And it's so annoying. So annoying. All right, so I'm going to have maybe a little bit here. And maybe just a tad up here. I don't think we need a lot. That might even be enough. What do you guys think? Isn't it lovely, the splatter? It's a great stamp set, Leslie. It's one of my favorites. I'm using it probably more than just about anything else right now. So, all right. So it's from the same die set. I'm going to use, well, I use this. I think I like this one, and I'm thinking of having it right here in the middle because I think that would look really nice. So I'm going to cut that out of some basic, very vanilla, which is handy when you're, I've got some right here, some very vanilla, because this is a thinner weight, and once again, like the white, it will no longer be available in the 40 sheets. Those have changed. All right, so I'm just going to cut that. And then we'll add, we've got a couple of choices in the stamp set. So I will tell you quite honestly that things are selling out in the online store as they discontinue. This item is scheduled to do the same. Actually, you know what would have looked better than the vanilla? I mean, it's okay, but crumb cake would have looked really good. Don't you think a crumb cake banner would have looked great? But I'll keep it at this for now because that's what I've already cut. I'm going to use, I can use the I'm thankful or the with a grateful heart. I think I'll go with a grateful heart because I really like that particular sentiment. And I'm going to do that in the early espresso as well. I'm just going to pop that right there. And I'm going to pop some dimensionals underneath. And look at us go. We're almost at the hour mark, which is what I try and do for Technique Tuesday. And we've made 2 cards right here to show you. I think we've done well today. I'll pull them both in so we can have a little look at them again. Now, also, what gems shall I use? I think I know. I think I'm going to go with the metallic gems. And I'm also thinking I might put that on a piece of crumb cake base. Let me quickly grab some. Right, so we have a piece of, I could have picked another colour, like one of the colours we used in the inks too, and that would also have looked good, like an old olive would look good. Yeah, almost any of these colours. but I kind of like it on the crumb cake. I think that looks rather nice. So let's get that stuck down. Ah, what have I done with my Tombow now? Here it is, hiding underneath my trimmer. All right. All right, let's see what we've got here. All right, so the reason I'm telling you about all these lovely sets that are retiring is I don't want you to miss out. So if you see one that you love, like if you love this autumn leaf set, it's such a bargain right now in the online store because it's being discontinued. Okay, so they've marked the stem set down half price to $21, and they've marked the dies way down from $67 to $26.40 or whatever it was I said earlier, $26 something. So they are fantastic. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use some of these metallic gems. I'm going to use the copper ones because copper will be like almost perfect with this. And I'm going to put a tiny smudge there. I'm going to cover it up with my little copper gem. I'm going to have a little guy up here. All right, and there we go. The copper looks good with it, doesn't it? I love those gems. I think they're such a great, they go with everything. And I love anything like that where you get multiple uses out of it for a variety of different things. All right, let me clear this all away because I've made a giant mess because that's what I do when I craft. And I know I'm not alone. I know you guys like to make big messes when you craft too, because that's what we do. All right, so there was this one that we did with the wonky circles or the around it all dies if you're looking for them. And then this one, oh, how did I get crooked like that? I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. There's our cards today. What do you think? Do you have a favorite? Which one do you like best? It's good to hear you girls are having some good results. I'm so glad you're out of the thumb splint, Donna. That's awesome. You like them both, Tanya? But do we have a favorite? Do we like one or two? One was the first one I did with the wonky circles and the colors. Still reminds me of ice cream. Reminds me of gelato. And then this one is the autumn themed card with our beautiful autumn leaves dies. Your favorite is the leaves card. Well, there you go. You love them both? That's okay. They are very different. You're right. Susie said two. The leaves card seems to be the favorite today. I think they both turned out pretty nice and I'm really happy with the result. I hope if you haven't already that you'll go and check out the online stores so that you can see what's in there and not miss out on the thing, because I hate it when, you know what my pet peeve is? Let me just tell you. I'm going to switch back to me. My pet peeve is when I have a customer, and this happens nearly every year, who contacts me and says, I'm looking for such and such a set or a product, and I can't find it in the online store. And I have to tell them that they have retired and gone for good. And I hate it when I have to do that because, you know, if only they'd gone and checked out the store earlier, they would have been there. They would have been okay. So make sure you don't miss out on stuff and actually get the things that you really want in that online store, or that you beat the price rise, especially with cardstock at the moment. So the two things that I've really noticed, actually three things I've noticed that are going up in the new catalog. One is cardstock. That's the big one. Okay, that's the one everyone needs to check out and make sure. Go through your cardstock stash and make sure that you have all the colors that you use all the time in plenty of supply. Okay, get them before that price rise. The basic white has already gone up in price because they have run out of the existing stock, but the other stuff is still there. Okay, so you want to go and check that out. The second thing that's gone up in price that we noticed was punches. Those are going up. So those have gone up quite a bit over the last couple of years. And the third thing, the cut and emboss machine is going up. So if anyone was in the market for one of those, you want to grab it before it goes up as well. So there you go. All right, I'm just missing a few comments. You like the wonky circles, Julianne, but your mum would love the leaves. Yeah. I know the Elements of Text set is fabulous, Leslie. It's such a good one. I'm so happy with it. I use it all the time. And as you can see, both these cards look better because of that set. It's fantastic. And just looking to see. Oh, serious stamping. We don't serious stamp, do we? Don't we have fun when we stamp, or we can't be serious? I know what you mean though. I know. It makes me really sad when I have to tell people I can't get their product for them anymore. I hate that. I did enjoy the HCBs yesterday. For anyone who doesn't know what HCBs are, you'll have to watch Sunday night's video with comments turned on. It's okay. I know what you meant, Kate. We love autocorrect when it's doing its own thing, right? Some people have forgotten how to splatter with a paintbrush. Well, that's still fun. That's still a fun thing to do, but certainly using a stamp for it is a little bit less messy. That's what that is. If you don't mind the mess, stick with your paintbrush. If you want to avoid the mess, grab a stamp. Oh, you're still doing a team challenge card, Tanya. I'm looking forward to that. Actually, that reminds me, I still haven't put up the names of the people who earned last month's team challenge, so I need to do that. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day, whatever it is you're doing. Don't forget to go check out the store because that's really important right now with so many things selling out. And then I will be back. Today's Tuesday. I will be back with you probably Thursday night this week because Friday being Good Friday, I won't be live on Friday night. So I'm thinking about going a day early. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.